Welcome to Shallow. One podcast, two time zones, diving deep into a new topic every week. From pop culture to beauty and wellness trends, careers and ambitions, these conversations flood our WhatsApp inboxes and social media feeds. Dialing in from Sydney, Australia and London, UK, we're asking the same question. Is it really that deep?
The Shallow Take. What's the harm in a face mask? Shay Mitchell has launched a children's skincare line and the internet has feelings. This week, we're diving into the cultural storm it sparked. From it's not too late to delete this, to think pieces calling it dystopian, everyone seems to have an opinion. Is this harmless self-care for curious kids, a clever celebrity cash grab? Or are we accidentally accelerating the beauty pipeline and shrinking childhood even more by normalising these beauty rituals? We're unpacking the marketing, the moral panic, the feminist angle, the dermatologists that are weighing in, and why this story has hit such a nerve. Phoebe, Weeby.
Lucy, Lucy.
We're sat on the couch, we're looking each other in the eye again. We're back.
We're so back.
And I know season 4 has started, but it feels like it's just started for me because now I just feel your presence.
I like
I can feel your aura.
Your eyes look so blue. You've got a lovely top on.
My eyes are green, but thanks.
They look blue. They look blue now.
I love that.
I'm going to take a photo after and be like, look at them.
Yeah, maybe they've changed.
They look blue.
I'll also have like a bluey green top on.
Yeah, I think it's bringing them out.
Anyway, do you have a recommendation for us today?
I do. I was gonna go skincare on theme, but I've changed my mind. I'm gonna do another book. I've been really obsessed with, it's a cookbook actually, Table for Two. Honestly, like everything's like very simple but really good. I haven't had, well, actually no, there was one that I wasn't overly happy with, but it was my fault. I overmixed it. It was my bad. But everything has slapped. It's been so good.
What was your favourite recipe?
There was a chocolate souffle, it's called a sunken chocolate cake, and it's basically like you make like a massive chocolate souffle, but you like deliberately sink it and you chill it, and it creates almost like a bowl, and then in the bowl you put like cream and fruit. Oh, it's filthy.
We love a pudding.
So good.
We love a filthy chocolate pudding on this podcast.
Yeah. Dirty.
I don't really have a... I wanted to kind of keep it... I wanted to do a skincare one, and
I think you should.
Yeah, a staple that I use all the time and have increased using since being here is the Caroline Hirons, the
support oil.
The support oil. Yeah, I always think it's the oil, but it's the support oil, and it's just non-greasy. Like, it doesn't make me break out. Like, it evens my skin tone. It makes me feel really moisturized, especially if you deal with like acne or anything like that, and you kind of get those like crusty. No one wants a crusty bit on your face, basically.
You want the crust.
And this kind of gets rid. It gets rid. It smooths out. Hydrates.
It's not greasy.
And it's not greasy, really, and it's good for people who have acne-prone skin.
Yeah.
So yeah, but just don't give it to your children.
No.
Anyway, that was
spoiler alert.
More about that.
Let's dive in. So if you haven't heard, the internet has been ablaze over Shay Mitchell releasing her new kids skincare brand, Rinny, and she announced it on Instagram with this announcement, and she basically goes on to say, "This has been 3 years in the making, inspired by my girls, their curiosity, and all the little moments that have made me realise how early it starts. From birthday parties and face paint to wanting to do what mummy does with her face mask, it was only a matter of time. Rinny isn't about beauty, it's about self-care, about teaching our kids that taking care of themselves can be fun, gentle, and safe. Our first product, the aloe vera recovery mask, actually came from a spring break moment in Mexico when one of the girls got too much sun and needed some extra TLC. I wanted something that worked, but was still clean enough for my kids, and now it's finally here. Kids are naturally curious, and instead of ignoring that, we can embrace it with safe, gentle products parents can trust, and sweet moments that bring us closer." I can feel Lucy's rage building. And the internet's kind of response was kind of what you would expect, largely. And the top comment was, "It's not too late to delete this post," which had 10,000 plus likes at the time of recording. And the other high engagement reactions included horrified, and this is so tone deaf for so many reasons. Initial thoughts, Lucy Bell.
I mean,
Talk
it
to
sounds
me.
like a nice little manifesto. Like she's packaged it, she's marketed it very nicely. I think she's come onto the scene with this and thought, this is going to slap. This is going to do really well because of how, you know, I'm talking about it in a kind of like childlike way. It's like, oh, we like face painting, and therefore that correlates to like, you know, just get some avocado, mash it up, and put it on your kid's face. If you want to play around with that stuff, like that's how, you know, learning through play and learning about skincare, you can still do that. But launching this kind of line, like the comment says, like it is tone deaf for me, like it is. And I think, you know, we can talk about the other sides to it, but like my initial thought is, oh, that is like capitalism gone like severely wrong. Like it just feels like a money grab, a cash grab, at the expense of children, which is really odd, I think. What are your initial thoughts? Because you were the one that kind of told me about this. Like I don't actually know who Shay Mitchell is.
Really? She was from, claim to fame, Pretty Little Liars was her, like,
oh my God,
her big...
I love Pretty Little Liars. Okay, of course I know who she is. Yes. Yeah, she's one of the main girls.
She's the swimmer.
Yeah. Okay.
And basically since then she's done, like, I think she has a bag brand, Base, I think it's called, and she's kind of turned into a bit of a businesswoman, mogul lady. But yeah, my initial thoughts were like, what the fuck? Like, this feels like a bridge too far. And as someone who works in marketing, was just like, oh my God, do we need to be doing this? And I will go into more of that sentiment later in the episode, but it just felt like, why the fuck are we commodifying 3-year-olds? Like, can we just take a beat?
That's what she said, from the age of 3 upwards. That's a toddler. That's a toddler.
Yeah, it is. And industry and expert reactions have kind of weighed in. Our favourite, Caroline Hirons, went on BBC4 and said, it's nonsense and money grab and completely unnecessary. And when asked when kids should start skincare, she said teenage years, basically when your hormones kick in the same way that you get smelly, you need to start washing more. And she says a gentle cleanser, moisturiser and SPF is fine. Media coverage, The Guardian has basically said dermatologists criticised dystopian skincare products aimed at children. The New York Post said Derm slams Shay Mitchell's, that's a tongue twister, skincare line for kids as young as 3, and said shame on this whole enterprise. And Joe Alvin, who was the former editor-in-chief of Glamour magazine, said beauty products for toddlers, are we all on glue?
I just really like that. Do you know what? If there's any consolation, it's that the main response has been negative.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that is some consolation to this absolute fuckery.
Exactly. And I think also I just want to think about her side of it for a minute, because like from a marketing perspective, like she's always been incredibly good at marketing herself and marketing her products. And I think when you market a product or you try and create talkability around a product, you'll think about it from a couple of different angles, or at least you should. And a lot of the time you create a tension point which activates like talkability, right? You want like a water cooler moment in the office, and a lot of the time that's created through doing something that isn't going to be entirely PC. It varies. You have like, you know, ones that take it way too far, but you have slight like light tension moments that get people talking. And it just feels like they thought about it and they were like, this is going to make headlines, but it's not that deep. And I think, spoiler alert, I think it is. I think that as women and girls and young girls ourselves back in the day, like the age in which you start picking yourself apart is so fucking young. Like you learn to do that. That is a learned behavior. Like, you know, you start feeling, I remember feeling self-conscious like as young as like 8 or 9. And
especially as a female.
Yeah, especially as a woman. It just feels like it's impeding on the time that kids get to be kids. And I just think it's already such a precious small amount of time. It's like, why are we encroaching on that? And like extending her the benefit of the doubt. Okay, yeah, it's like a cooling face mask. She's not selling lipstick for 3-year-olds, but it's like you're entering that into that pipeline, aren't you?
Yeah, and what if it starts making money? They're going to be like, oh, a lip salve for 3-year-olds. It's that kind of thing. And going back to the kind of when you're talking about kind of going through puberty and growing up, and you've got all these stresses. Another element to this is, you know, you start hitting that age where you need to, you know, wash your face and stuff. But if you're younger than that and you're in class with other children who are like, oh, well, I've got this skincare routine, and they start talking, it's just another element of like, oh, maybe my parents can't afford that.
Yeah.
I don't have access to that. It's another like rivalry that you can have between classmates of who has more kind of like status, because
Yeah.
I'm doing my cucumber cooling mask and you don't get to do your cucumber cooling mask.
Yeah.
But it's these trends, and it's keeping up with the trends as well. And if you start this kind of like incessant need to keep up with the trend from the age of 3, if you're like, well, everyone's on this bandwagon, you know, my friend has this, my friend has that toy, but you're doing it with skincare, with beauty, especially with women and young girls, it's like, okay, that is an element that we all have to deal with as we kind of, hopefully not until you hit puberty or till you get your first phone, you're not really like exposed to it as much. But if you are kind of exposed to that through like as a small child before that, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no,
like I'm not saying it very eloquently. I do.
I think you're doing a great job.
But I just feel like we are just entering like a mass consumerist reality. Like we already are in one, and like letting kids be normal without access to like adult things is becoming non-existent. Like you need to let children be children. I don't have children. I'm not claiming to be, you know, the know-all about having children. That's not what I'm saying. But I've been a child.
Yeah.
I have brothers and sisters and cousins, and I know children, and I think, you know, you do have some kind of authority to be like, actually, no, that's not
doesn't feel right. And I think also as well, like I remember I used to work on a beauty counter when I was at uni, and she had to be like 7 or 8, came up to this counter, and apparently she was like a YouTuber, like a beauty YouTuber for that age group, and like her grandparents were like, she's got all these followers, like isn't it great? And like obviously, you know, you're in work mode and you're selling a product, but my heart just sank. I was like, this is actually quite depressing to me. Like and I'm someone who like loves beauty. I've always loved makeup. I'm obsessed with skincare. Used to work in the industry, and it's just like it just made me feel a bit gross. And I think we're seeing this now with the kind of teen and tween market as well. Like per the BBC, the baby and child skincare market is now expected to grow 7.17% annually until 2028, reaching 380 million worldwide, with the number of users expected to hit 160.7 million. And from Statista, 45% of US parents surveyed said they had recently bought skincare for their Gen Alpha children.
Are they like the iPad baby?
Yeah. So that's kids born between 2010 and 2024. So they're the generation that follows Gen Z. So they're the cohort that's basically entirely been born in the 21st century. So that's just kind of bonkers.
Speaking of BBC News, yeah, I saw there was like someone came on to be interviewed, and it was a mum and 2 children, and the 2 children were baby influencers, but they focused around like doing skincare routines, and like they had like it cut to like their TikTok videos, and these kids were between the ages of like 6 to 11, like they were very young, and the way that they were sitting, and they just looked so perfect and like rigid, and it kind of reminded me of the kind of pageant culture.
Yeah.
It's that kind of like, we're going to prime you to be super beautiful and super amazing at everything, and therefore your skin should always be amazing. You should always look, you know, perfect. Your skin should always be perfect. It can't ever look like flawed. And I think maybe that's another rhetoric that we are perpetuating by giving a child
how you look comes first.
Yeah, always.
That's what's more important.
And it's kind of like, can you imagine? So I was thinking about this, like how I actually felt about this. Like, can you imagine being at school and learning about, you know, like 1950s housewives and how that all kind of worked, and how they would like measure themselves, and you know, how they were very conscious of their weight, and they did like those gym workouts that were like in heels and things like that. I thought, if there was a line in there that they would teach 3-year-olds to do their skincare, everyone would be appalled. You'd be like, oh, that's so archaic. Like, that's so
gross.
Like, glad we don't do that now. But no, that's not something from the past. This is something from right now.
Yeah.
It's worrying.
Well, it's just, it just reeks of like, what segment of the market haven't we commodified? Where can we make more money? And look, I get it, capitalist society, whatever, but it's just like, really, like, are we now just not even drawing the line at 3-year-olds. And obviously, look, at the end of the day, it's not going to be the 3-year-old that goes out and buys it, but they know that when they're wandering the aisles of a supermarket, like they have purchasing power. Like they're gonna pull on like their parents' shirt and be like, "Mummy, Daddy, like I want this," and they know what they're doing. And I think it just it struck a nerve. I didn't like it.
It's diverting people away from like, or it's diverting children away from like going to town and wanting to go to like Toys R Us or the equivalent like Harrods or Hammond. Hamleys, you know, kind of like a kind of toy shop. Hamleys is a bit of a bougie toy shop, I won't lie, but like, you know, those kind of, I don't know where kids go to clearly these days, but it's kind of taking that element away. It's like, oh, I don't want the new train set. I want the new Sephora drunk elephants. But no, you can't have sweetie. That. That's not okay. And I just feel like, you know, like, I think she said something like, oh yeah, you know, like kids like to play and like dress up like mummy does. But like, just because your kid walks around in mummy's heels and your heels doesn't mean you should go and get them a pair of children's stilettos, is my kind of takeaway from this. It's like, okay, they like playing dress up, it's cute, you know, they wear a little dress with like pearls around them, it's cute. But as soon as you start being like, let me get you some Louboutins, babe. Little 3-year-old Louboutins, let's go have a drink. How about that? A little whiskey shot, or numb the gums while your teeth are coming through. It's all just a bit fucked.
If you've been enjoying the episode, can you do us a really quick favour? Drop us a rating or a little review. It helps more people find us, and honestly, we're a little bit needy like that. Takes 2 seconds and means the world. Thanks, guys. So that being said, let's talk about the flip side of it. So obviously...
What is it?
Stay with me.
Okay, I'm with you.
We love to be balanced here. We play both sides. The case for... So like, ultimately, is it really that deep? And Shay Mitchell obviously responded to all of this, saying she was a little surprised. I think anything that involves kids, there should be a conversation around it. I didn't think this would be any different. Skincare starts from birth. We moisturize, we soothe, we comfort their skin as newborns. This is the same thing. It's just in a different format that's more fun and age appropriate. Kids don't look at face masks and think about fixing their appearance. They think about being a cooling sensation and a shared moment. No, they fucking don't, babe. Sorry. I'm trying to be balanced, but they don't.
That's more fun and age appropriate, which I thought was the funniest thing that you said then. Age appropriate. Is it age appropriate? Is it age appropriate? The thing is, right, if let's say you release a face mask for all ages, anyone can put it on.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's different. You are releasing a skincare line. You have marketed it as a skincare line for children. Like that is your business now.
And this will also be the tip of the iceberg. This will be the first line. There'll be more stuff coming.
Exactly. When she's like, "Oh, I'm not selling you red lipstick for your 3-year-old," but like, when does it stop?
Yeah. Where's the finish line?
Where's the line?
And actually, I enjoyed this article in Glamour because it involves our strapline. But Glamour published, Shay Mitchell's skincare line isn't that deep, neither was your childhood beauty obsession. Most Glamour staffers can recall smearing on play makeup or stealing mummy's moisturiser. Rooney's face masks really aren't that different, just with clearer marketing and safer ingredients. Of course, skincare for children is not necessary. The question is whether children who are interested can experiment responsibly, and maybe without parents spending $72 on a drunk elephant moisturiser. So, is this really any different than kids copying their parents? Have they just packaged it up for the parents, for them to be like, don't take my shit, here's your own?
But I think the difference is, if a child takes your moisturiser and starts, you'd be like, no, stop.
Yeah.
You can't put that on your skin. Like, that's not for you. That's mummy's moisturiser. Like, that's not good for your skin. You know, you know, you might put a little bit of lip gloss. I remember mum putting a little bit of lip gloss on me. But there was never any kind of like, oh yeah, like free reign of my like skincare. There was never any of that. And I think it's slightly irresponsible if you are letting your child use your own skincare products with all those ingredients on baby skin, basically. I think that's bad.
Yeah. I feel like in the purest outlook, I feel like that was the route that she was coming from, is like, okay, this is a safer version that you can use, that your kid can use without it coming for like, you know, your actives or your face cream or whatever. But I think the point is that they probably have a tub of Cetaphil that goes on their face, and that's all that's required.
Because their skin doesn't need it.
Yeah, it's just not needed. And I think also kind of framing it up, I think, you know, her initial Instagram statement was, you know, polished very well, but I think framing this up as like a shared moment and a cooling sensation, like a kid's really thinking about that. Then I think the other bit as well that stuck out was the mention of self-care. Since when do kids need self-care? And
also then that kind of takes them down that route of like, oh, I need to self-care. I need to do all these things and all these steps to be cared for. Yeah. And really they just need to exist. And
well, they're like, already being cared
exactly, they're being cared for. They literally, and that when she's talking about, oh, you know, they're not going to use your products and stuff like that, they don't need to be using any products. Yeah, like you said, they need to be using Cetaphil. But like also there are skincare lines for teens. Yeah. Like that exists already. Yeah. You know, like when they get to the age where that skin becomes a little bit more oily and their hormones start like ramping up, like there is a lot of different brands that do like teen, you know,
there's so
range,
many now,
and they don't have as many kind of ingredients or as many actives as some of them, like Dermatologica, for example, like super good for teen skin. But like it's not the same. Like I use the heel reference again. It's not the same. You know, you're not going to go and buy a Louis Vuitton bag just because they like carrying yours around in a miniature version. Or maybe you will if you're fucking rich as anything. I don't know what you do with your rich children, but that was a non-point. But yeah, what do you think about like that? Do you think does any of what Glamour said have some resonance with you? Like, is there any part of this where you think, okay, maybe if it was done in this way, it could potentially be fine?
I think it will always feel dicey to me, but I don't know if that's largely down to my job. And ultimately the impetus behind this, I think is actually solving a problem. So often like when you bring a product to market, it's really useful because like it solves a problem. There's not a problem to be solved here. And I don't think it's that innovative. I think it's a cash grab. Like, I think that's
so the answer is no.
Yeah, like I think so. That's that kind of my overarching. I think the flip side of that is, you know, if I was a parent and I was like, oh, you know, my 4-year-old wants to do like have a pamper evening with me and put a face mask on, I know that this is suitable for a child, like, oh yeah, I'll chuck it in my basket. And from that surface level, I'm like, it's not that deep. Like, I'm like, cool, they can use it. There's not harsh actives in it. I know it's good for their skin.
So it's almost like you're taking away telling them what it is. So like, if you were, we'll do a little pamper session. Yeah. You're not saying, this is a children's skincare and this is, you know, like Shay Mitchell's kind of like her kind of statement. You're not telling the child the statement, so therefore they don't know the meaning behind it.
Is a 4-year-old doing a face mask?
Did you do a face mask before?
Well, that's what I was thinking as I said it. Like I don't recall that. That being said, I don't remember a lot of that age, but I don't remember doing that or that being a priority with my parents. Like I remember being outside, kind of pissing around in the garden.
Yeah, or like doing like a pajama party with your friends.
Yeah, and like
or having like a sleepover and doing a film. But nobody, in no part of that sleepover was there any sort of like, everyone, let's do our skincare. Like, and that, it's just like an added layer of like, I think it's a stress. Like I would be stressed if I was a child and, you know, I don't even like washing my face. And then suddenly all my classmates are like, oh, I've got this 10-step, like I'd be like, well, what am I doing wrong? Like I must have bad skin, I must have this. It is just giving children anxiety at a younger age. Yeah. Like if we strip it right down, like, and what the implications of this could be if she starts bringing out more products. I mean, I don't know, is it actually released? Have people bought it?
I think it is live. Like I think the product is live. I think it's live when she announced it.
Do you think it's one of those things as well that people might just like forget about and just kind of move on and just kind of accept it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think it's going to be one of those flash in the pan situations that it's going to be like, oh, there's so-and-so's product. Remember when everyone was up in arms? And to be honest, I think also, I mean, you go back to at the top of the episode saying you hadn't heard of this. I think probably a lot of people, if you're not on the internet, you probably haven't clocked this. You don't know who she is. It's going to go straight over so many people's heads. I just think from a female perspective of thinking about the effect that, you know, all this tween skincare rolling out is having, social media is having on kids, like all of that kind of beauty pipeline that now exists, I think it just hit me in the gut thinking like, oh, we're encroaching on the time where children get to be children, and we're pointing inadvertently or by accident at their faces saying you should be cognizant of this. And I just feel like it speeds up that pipeline to poking at yourself, which like we all did and have done and continue to do as women. And that's what concerns me.
Yeah, I was just looking here at there was like an article, and her actually on her Instagram, like some of the promo images, one of that, because the masks are actually animals.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. But there's a picture of a girl, young girl, maybe like 6, with a face mask on, with like, you know, like the turban and the dressing gown, looking into like a beauty mirror, and there is kind of like makeup brushes by it.
Don't like it.
It's just weird. It's weird. I don't like it.
It also just gives the impression that this is what you should be focusing on. This is where you should be looking, not how, you know, you can... Well, at that age, you just shouldn't be thinking about anything other than having a good time.
Literally having a good time. No, seriously, like it is that deep. Like it's just as deep as a child needs to get. It's just enjoying your life, being looked after by your parents, being cared for, and being kind of almost like that is the time that you are sheltered from the shit show of the world. Like if there's any time where you don't have to be worrying about skincare, hair products, what's going on in the news, social media, it is when you are a child. Like, can we please protect that? Because that is really stressful. Another thing that kind of, well, one of the things that really just stood out to me when you were kind of introducing Shay Mitchell to the kind of listeners was businesswoman. It's very much, like you said, cash grab. Obviously, at the end of every episode, we have to ask the question, is it really that deep? I think we do this, I mean, sometimes it's a little less obvious during an episode, and we kind of battle it out a little bit. I think we were very on the side of, like, this is not okay, it is that deep. And we really tried to see some perspective where this is okay, but I just don't think we've landed on that. And like if anybody's listening who has like an alternative perspective on it, like I'd be really interested to know, because I would really know, like if you've got a child and you're listening to this and you would happily, like, you know, give them one of these face masks, like tell me why. Like I really want to know, and like from somebody who has a kid. What about you?
I totally agree. Like I think we're coming from the standpoint of like we don't have children, so we are a little bit limited in our worldview there. And you know, I think every time when I was like, you know, so the other side of it, like I just felt myself get pulled into like I actually just don't care. Like I do care, but it's just, it became very hard to defend it, I find. So yeah, absolutely, I think it is that deep. I feel like it's shrinking childhood, and I feel like it's also the tip of the iceberg of what could be yet to come if we don't seriously push back on this.
It's another layer for what young girls have to deal with, and like obviously this is not gender specific, like it's for any, you know, any children, boy or girl, whatever, but it does seem so heavily marketed towards girls, and like can we just stop marketing towards girls? Can we just stop profiting off kind of beauty ideals and standards? And you know, we're supposed to be in the modern age, like we're supposed to be forward thinking. We're not supposed to be doing things that would be kind of acceptable in the 1950s. Like can we just pause for a second. And like, I think we're going to cover like another episode on the kind of rise in Ozempic again and the skinny trend and all the kind of backlash around that.
Parceled up with it.
Yeah, it feels kind of like correlated to this.
It does.
And it feels like the internet is kind of, you know, throwing body positivity in the bin. Like, fuck that. That was so last season.
Yeah.
Now it's all about looking like clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's about like looking prim, proper, tiny.
How skinny can you get?
Skinny. Almost childlike in a way, which is kind of like interesting in correlation to like you keeping that youthfulness of a 3-year-old. Like, why are we wanting that for ourselves? Is another question. Like, why do we want to look like children? Don't know. We will explore.
That's a good episode.
In another episode. Why do we want to look like children?
12 looking 20 and you're 20 looking 12.
Exactly.
And now it's time for...
And what a pile of bollocks!
This is the part of the show where we chat shit about something insignificant that really riles us up. Lucy Bell, it's your turn. What have you got for me?
George Russell. It's been a long time coming. I've been putting off saying this because I feel like the girlie's going to come for me. But my God... I mean, I actually don't feel bad. He's very rich, he's very wealthy, he's having a great life. I just can't stand the guy. He's so annoying, and he's so, like, I just get, like, this pretentiousness from him, and he's just a bit of a dork. Bit of a dork. Sorry, George. But, like, you're not cool. And I'm not claiming to be cool. Like, I'm not going on claiming to be cool, but, like, I saw him at Wimbledon, and, like, the like, camera panned to him, and he was like, yeah, look at me, I'm George Russell. But for some reason, like, Lewis Hamilton pulls it off. He's eternally cool. He's eternally cool.
But I also would say, like, so many, like, he's on a different
he's on a different level. But yeah, George Russell, I just don't know. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm not debating his personality, but maybe I am. Maybe I am. He just irritates me. I don't know. I do follow him though. I think I rage follow him. Oh, he's on holiday again. Maybe I'm just bitter because I don't have the same life. But I don't know. There is a difference. I feel like I follow a lot of like lifestyle people, and like I just feel like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put this photo on your back pool. Everyone's gonna think we're cool. No.
No.
No. According to me, no. And I have the best opinion ever.
Is there something about him specifically that...
I don't know. I think it's just how smug he is. I don't like the smugness. It's the British smugness I'm not about. I just feel like he's not got the essence of cool that I care for. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, always.
Yeah. Like Charles Leclerc, cool.
Cool.
Leo Leclerc, his miniature dash.
Very cool.
Very cool. But yeah, not about it. In the bin. Done.
Bye-bye.
George Russell, in the bin. Thanks so much for listening to Shallow. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could leave us a review. It makes a really huge difference in helping others discover the podcast. We always want to hear from you, so feel free to slide into our DMs, send us a bell, or follow us on Instagram at ShallowPod. Shallow is a boxed off production, written and hosted by Lucy Bell and Phoebe Whittle. We'll see you next time.